In this lightweight contest, scheduled for 3 3-minute rounds, when the action gives your referee charge, bad news, and like
Here we go, WXC 61, Adam King and Matt Christopher, which should be an extremely competitive bout.
I would say this one has fight of the night potential all over it. Two really tough, very skilled guys.
Yeah, Christopher, a guy with dynamite in his hands, and King got an eye poke there. Good show of sportsmanship by King. King's demonstrated some excellent jiu-jitsu in the cage. So I think that's where we want to put the fight. And King's showing some excellent sportsmanship there, letting Christopher recover from that eye poke, and Legman didn't step in. So hats off to King for that sportsmanship.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the Achilles heels of our sport, is that eye poke, because it can, I mean, it can completely change a fight, and it has completely altered championship fights in the UFC. I mean, we're talking major problem for the sport, and there's really no way around it.
Yeah, I've heard people try to float different ideas in terms of changing the structure of the glove, but I haven't heard anything really that, like you said, would make a real difference in the occurrences.
Yeah. Kind of a stall right here, and a break. One thing we know too is Matt Christopher's tough as nails. We've seen him halfway knocked out 12 times and then winning the fight.
Yeah, you have to throw the kitchen sink at that kid.
Yeah, and it needs to hit him in the right spot.
I think King wants to drag this thing to the ground and be able to showcase some of that top-notch level grappling that he has.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, I would say I'd like to see him. Oh, that almost looked up the middle. But I'd like to see him work that stand-up too, because at some point you're going to need it.
No, that's true. And you know, a lot of these fights, they're a little bit of a kind of a lab, if you will, to see where do you need to focus, how strong is your stand-up. It's one thing if you got headgear on and 16-ounce gloves in the gym. It's another thing when you're in this cage and banging, and there can be a discrepancy, and you want to test yourself in the right moments in the cage.
Yeah. You might not want to let Matt Christopher bang you in the head with
maybe Matt Christopher's not the guy you want to do it against, though.
No, probably not.
Getting a little stall here as you have this clinch, and King desperately is trying to,
The danger, though, is that you go to a very high level and eventually become pro, and then you still have this hole in your game. I mean, we've seen that. We've seen that locally, even with some guys that they're just not well-rounded enough to.
King looking for the leg lock, heel hook there. That's those things are dangerous, man.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. The way I look at this, and this is going to sound maybe a little bit like a chicken here, but I really wish that we had some kind of laws or rules on when to introduce those. You should have to have like maybe 5 fights or something, because I've seen guys that are fighting and they get their knee ripped off from one of those heel hooks, because they don't really even know what's going on. They've never experienced it in the gym. They don't know what's the right way to roll and everything else. And you look at some of the other states like Jersey, they have, you know, rules, and you have, you know, pads, knee pad, or shin pads and everything else. I don't like that. I think that might be taking it too far, but some form of transition into the game, because you know, in jiu-jitsu you can't do leg locks until you're black belt.
You can't even do them in IBJJF and any of, at least in the gi. And depending on the organization, I know a lot of gyms that are, you know, quality jiu-jitsu gyms that guys don't even train heel hooks because of how devastating they can be. So I mean, it's an interesting point at you know, the idea of at what time should you allow these devastating leg locks.
Yeah, I think it's because, you know, most people, by the time your arm is straight and you're feeling it and you have time to tap,
the heel hook's different.
The heel hooks don't. Like, by the time you feel it, it's done damage. Nice leg kick by Matt Christopher. Swinging for the fences on this one. Jumping guard. This is how desperately he wants to be down here.
Shows how confident he is off his back and goes immediately to that rubber guard.
Yeah, look at that. This is trouble too, because how many people get into that situation and really know what to do from the top? How many guys have that, you know, in their gym maybe?
Yeah, they've been able to, you know, how do you solve the puzzle that is the rubber guard? But Matt Christopher is doing an excellent job here of just simply putting King's back against the cage, because that limits your hip mobility and limits so much what you can do from the bottom.
Pressure, yeah.
Yeah, that hip mobility is crucial, and if you can kind of pin your opponent's head against the cage and start chipping away at him, it takes away a lot of what Adam King can do from the bottom.
He's got so much mobility and dexterity. I mean, he's dangerous from everywhere, but again, he has to have the space to do it.
At the same time, Matt Christopher really not doing much in terms of offense, just pressure him against the cage. Kind of looks a little confused as in terms of how do you solve what is the rubber guard.
Yeah, and again, not a whole lot of people pulling good rubber guard in gyms, you know, depending on where you are. So,
I mean, I can attest that. I mean, I've only probably ran into a handful of guys, and I mean, I've grappled some top-level guys. Only a handful of guys that like consistently utilize it and utilize it effectively. Christopher starting to open up a little bit here within King's guard.
Yeah, we got a cut. I mean, King is cut, but you know, he's dangerous all the way. And that's the thing with knockout guys and submission guys. They could be losing the fight for however long. All they need is that one opening, and it's all over. Let me stand back up. Well, Christopher was doing really good on his feet until we got back on that ground. Wow, nice land. And
a big takedown.
I don't know if that was so smart.
Because that's exactly where King wants to be.
Yeah.
You could see that flexibility going to, that's actually what Eddie Bravo calls crackhead control. Because, and it's called that because you have so much strength actually from that if you have both that super high guard like that. And you know, the more you study.
Interesting character. A lot of people love him, a lot of people hate him.
Yeah, polarizing figure for sure.
Yeah, that's true. It's good for the sport to have people that, whoa!
Yeah. Christopher and a lot of.
2 hands in, 2 hands out.
Not saved by the bell there though, because that looked like that could have been a fight-ending situation right there.
Yeah, especially against such a good grappler. Max Christopher, I mean, he's so tough, man. I mean, this is a guy you just love to have in the gym too, because this is the ultimate training partner. Yeah,
a guy that's going to go out there and just, like we said, he's one of those guys that he's just a gamer. He's a fighter. He's a gritty guy that's going to be willing to bring everything that he has and leave it on the table.
And coachable. Just watch him. You know, you're watching him. He's exhausted. He's breathing. He's nodding. He's listening. He's totally in it.
Yeah, I actually got to see him do a little bit of work with Master Nick Shepard, and he was one of those guys who was like really willing to learn. You run into guys, some fighters a little bit stubborn and at times think they know best and might, you know, disregard some of the advice of their corner. But Matt Christopher was like the antithesis of that. He was trying to soak up everything that Nick wanted to offer to him.
Yeah, you gotta trust what you have yourself, but you also have to know that your coaches see things that you don't see. And I remember, you know, one of my favorite moments in WXC was we had a title fight. Oh wow, we got flipped there. But we had a title fight with DeQuan Townsend fought Tennyson, and his corner timed the movement and told him when to throw the cross to knock him out, and it worked flawlessly.
That was a beautiful knockout too, man.
It was amazing.
We're right back here now. He's in the triangle. Matt Christopher's got to get up.
Yeah, this is the
he's got to posture up because
you cannot do this. And
he's in a lot of trouble.
So tough.
How
is he not tapped already?
He's going to pass that. He wanted to pass that arm over. Matt Christopher in a lot of trouble here. There's no way that he's going to get off in this position. He might be out, actually.
Yeah, it looks out to me.
He's out. Wow. Adam King. Impressive triangle victory over a always game Matt Christopher. He went to it, he went to it, he went to it, and eventually he hit it.
Yeah, and I think this is one of them things too that, like, you have to have the sense that when somebody is chasing the grappling that hard, not give it to him. You know, for Matt Christopher.
Yeah.
You know, when he jump starts, stand power back up out of it before he gets the opportunity to do what he wants to do. Play the game at your level, your way. But you know, great fight, and I had Matt Christopher winning that fight up until then. So, you know, awesome fight, and let's send it up to the butcher and get the final call on this one.
You won. 56 seconds of round number 3 comes the triangle choke for your winner. All right, you were looking for a way to finish that fight in all 3 rounds. Whenever you got close to a dominant position, you were looking for that triangle. You finally got your legs in the right spot, and it was just a matter of time till it was over. Why don't you tell us how it feels to win in that fashion, and who you'd like to thank tonight, Adam?
I would like to thank all my teammates in the Scorpion Fighting System. I would like to thank my friends that came to see me. They drove almost like 3 hours away. Ben, Jamie, Aaron, Amy, and their kids. Thank you for coming out. My coach was like, hey man, full guard. So that's what I did. Try to work the triangle. Eventually, I found the opening. Shot for it.
Outstanding to have the cardio to do that. The 8th minute, just like that. One more time, ladies and gentlemen, for your winner.